Hey, hey, hey.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good, yeah. What's all this malarkey?
Good good evening, sir.
Huh?
It's Blessed Saturday. Don't you know what today is?
No.
I bless you, sir.
I see that you're finally giving us the right title, though, calling us sir.
I give you the right title.
Yeah, you're showing us a bit of, consideration calling me sir instead of Dick.
I could call you senior,
Well, that would be true as well.
and then it wouldn't be. But what? Why would I? Why? Yeah. Why would I do that?
We normally do. It's just life, isn't it? How's your day?
Mary Beth says Goose Fraba. Yes, Goose Fraba. I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty.
I am being educated tonight.
I'm doing good, bud. How's everybody doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I've had a nice, relaxing day. I've been chilling, watching some TV. I've been doing a bit of a review, sort of thing. So, kind of day that I enjoy, just nice and relaxing and easy going, doing the things I enjoy.
Just what I did today. I smoked lots of pot, drank some Mountain Dew, and played Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
So, normal day.
That's a productive day. Yes, that's right. I'm almost to my guy's almost to level 200 now, so I'm proud of myself.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
We got a good show planned for tonight, right, Bob?
We have. I'm quite excited for tonight because we've got a band on with us that I think I probably stumbled across for the first time about a year and a half ago. And then obviously, that I write reviews and bits and pieces, and it must be nigh on a year since I wrote a review on their album, and it was a cracker. And I've been sort of passing messages occasionally with members of the band, especially Dan, and really, really good lads, really solid band. So looking forward to having the chat.
So you're publicly admitting that you were stalking Dan, huh?
Well, Dan does things right. He's active in the community. He supports people. He supports the industry, and it's nice to see. So you come across people quite regular when they like that, and they're good band, good lad.
Well, let's bring them on, shall we, Bob? You want to introduce them?
Yeah, it's the fantastic ThrasherWolf.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
Have I buttered you up well enough there, Dan?
Say what?
Have I buttered you up well enough there?
I think you did. My I'm feeling thoroughly flushed right now. Of course. Cheers are welling up.
That's the usual Saturday night for you, mate.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Bob tickled Dan's inners. Look at that. Complimenting him and made him all butterflied inside. He done tickled.
That fizzling sensation.
For anybody who's wondering, the third member of the team that you can't see so well is Princess Leia.
Yeah, he's at a cosplay convention tonight. That's right. We should probably announce that to everybody. Jack is at a cosplay convention as we speak, and he's dressed up as Princess Leia, captured by Jabba the Hutt.
You know it. No, I moved away from the road a bit because it was fucking loud, and so sorry if you can't see me very well.
It's okay, Leia.
So I'm out and about in the pub as well with mates, so I'm kind of double booked today. Obviously, this is more important, so hence I'm outside freezing my nuts off.
Well, you're doing well to leave a pub there to come and speak to us. I'm not sure that I would have justified that off Sid or vice versa.
Mate, I've had a few. I'll get back and it's their round when I get back, so there should be.
By the time you're done with the show, you're gonna be so fucking sobered. You're going to have to go back there and get pictures of beer.
Like I said, mate, it's their round, so.
Hey, that's almost like the perfect excuse because we all have friends when you go to the pub. And you know the type where they walk up to the pub door and they open it and hold it so that for everybody else to go in so that they'll have to get to the bar and pay. Well, that's a perfect excuse now, isn't it? You lads go in and get the round in. I'm going to be doing an interview with some guys about the band.
See, now what I did is I got the first round in, necked that, and then when I get back, I'm going to have something stronger. When it's there. More expensive,
make them pay for it.
Yeah, you know it.
Let's introduce everybody. So let's start with Dan. Tell everybody what you do, what your role is in the band.
Hi guys, I'm Dan Lucas, and I'm the front man of ThrasherWolf. I am Like I'm like the James Hetfield of the group.
Oh, I like that comparison.
Well, I've been told I'm the bastard child of Dave Mustaine and James Hetfield quite a number of times. So
I can see that in the music.
it's the biggest compliment I've ever received, other than when we were up in Manchester and suddenly the entire crowd started chanting "sexy bastard" at me. Which is nice.
Excellent. But well, you know, what more could you ask for? You've got Sid on side now as well, because he's a big fan of Metallica, and he's met James before and puked all over him.
Vomited all over the poor fella. I mean, to be fair though, I was only like 15 years old. I think I might have been 16 or right around getting ready to be 16. And me and him had a little bit one too many to drink. I mean, that fucking bottle went pretty fucking fast. And next thing you know, I get up off the damn shower floor and I was like, "Blah!" And then just all over his lap.
Oh no!
Sorry, James.
I'm sure he still remembers that.
Thanks for bringing that up, Bob. One of my
Well,
low points
you
in my
know,
life.
I'm here
He
to
was
help.
the one who brought it up all over James Hetfield.
Yeah, exactly. Should we go to Raven next? Raven, what's your role?
Yeah, bass player. Bass.
Bass.
That's it, yeah. Playing
That's
bass.
it. Pure and simple. Then, you know.
Pure and simple, yeah.
Should we move on to Princess Leia?
Hi, I'm Princess Leia. No, I'm Jack. I play guitar as well alongside Dan. I've been with Dan, like, I'd like to say since the beginning, since we started gigging. Like, when was it, Dan? Like 2016 when we started? I can't remember. No, later than that.
I remember you
Shit,
joined.
I can't do dates.
You joined, I think it was August 2017. I remember your first audition was literally in that back room. And I gave you the Vortex to audition you.
Yeah, because you're a bastard.
Yeah.
Excellent
Yeah,
stuff.
like the Vortex has kind of become a meme in our band of anytime we have to audition someone, it's just the Vortex is what you audition to. That's why you did it, Raymond. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's the hardest song we have technically, and I'd
Yeah.
say if you can play the Vortex, you can play anything of ours.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a known thing.
Oh, I'm going to have to learn it now, just in case you need a fill-in at some point.
Please learn it. Please.
If it doesn't
Yeah.
work out for you, Bob, you can always be a ThrasherWolf mascot.
Well, you know, it's funny you should mention that, because, as I say, I collared on the ThrasherWolf very early. I got the album, which is a fantastic album. Look at the cover, really, really good. You know, it's there, really good. And I remember we were sort of corresponding at one point, me and Dan, about the album, the review, and various other things. We were like, and I can't remember exactly how we got it, but you mentioned about doing a mascot, and there was all this campaign running for naming the mascot, wasn't there, as well? Which I believe, if I remember correctly, the winning name was Frank.
Yep. Frank the lycanthropic werewolf who thrashes people in the head.
Whereas the other guys in the trifecta, they went, "Oh, Frank the fucking furry." Fuck you lot, you fucking cunts.
Frank the Furry.
Weirdly enough, it just sort of stuck. You know, you've got it's the simplest names that sort of work. You have Eddie for Iron Maiden, and was it Rattlehead for Vic Rattlehead for Megadeth. So it's like Vic, Eddie, Frank. There has to be that one syllable for it to be somewhat catchy, I think. So Frank just sort of fucking worked.
Can you imagine Bob dressed up as Frank at your guys' gigs? Handing out
I can actually, and it's already freaking me out.
And you'd be left bollocks hanging out as well.
I've almost got my own fur, haven't I? You know, and with these grey streaks come, I'm like a silverback. So yeah,
You guys will be seeing Frank in a lot of upcoming artwork for different things we have planned for release.
Oh, excellent. Well, that'd be good, because I know that when you saw, I don't know which version Sid's got tonight for the Vortex, where I know that one of the videos I've seen has obviously got the wolves charging along in a sort of animated fashion. And that must have took a bit of work to put together that.
Yeah, I ended up paying a guy for it. Really, I can't be dealing with creating something like that myself. I had this picture in my head of this animated music video, and obviously a lot of animators charge an absolute bomb. So the challenge was finding the absolute cheapest one who was willing to take on the job. 300 sobs, can't really complain about that for a 6-minute long lyric video that's actually quite well animated. Yeah, I'd say I was very happy with that.
It's done pretty well as well, to be fair, on like YouTube and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
for what we paid for it, like the views we've got on it is pretty good.
Yeah.
I do like this, you know. I mean, I know we're taking the piss call and Jack Princess Leia, but when he speaks, because it's so dark, it's like the Force is speaking to you, isn't it? You know.
Is this just going to become a thing now?
Yeah, this is your new thing. We're not going to have any spotlights on you, Jack. It's just going to be darkness in that corner of the stage.
See, you know the worst thing is where I'm sitting. Where I'm sitting is right by the river, and there's the occasional like bystander walking past, and there's just a load of swans staring at me. I don't know if you can see them. That's probably too fucking dark.
Oh yeah, yeah, we can see them.
I can actually see them.
Yeah, there's
That's the
some
property of
swans.
green, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm so thrash metal, I'm just surrounded by swans, you know.
Please don't get attacked by swans, Jack.
Oh, please
Please don't get attacked by swans.
No! Don't do that, Dan. Let's enjoy this moment. If they decide to attack you, let's just let it happen.
Midway through this interview, you just see me just like that, just like fucking in the background changing.
Let's just hear him scream. Let's just watch him scream and run from ducks.
Yeah, if we can get that happening, honestly, it'll increase views dramatically.
The worst part is now they're all proper eyeing me up.
I would rather get attacked by a duck than a fucking swan. Jesus Christ.
What's
They are
that
vicious bastards.
Take a break a man's arm.
We'll hear Jack Rennan singing the swan song as he's running from swans.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers, you still bite.
Yeah.
That's my
Fuck you! I'm throwing myself in the Thames in a minute.
So let's play. Let's take a break. We'll come back, talk with you guys some more. But let's play a video for you guys. Since we've been talking about the Vortex, since that's the most complex song, and if anybody wants to try to have at it like Bob, this is the song you're going to have to try out for, Bob. This is the song, the Vortex. So you better sharpen your skills up, pal, because I don't ever see that happening.
I think a lot.
I mean, not to be mean, but damn, this song is really good, and it's really put together really well. And there's parts in it that's like really fucking technical, and we don't play like we used to, Bob.
Well, to be honest, I mean, it's funny that Dan's been saying about the bastard child of Dave Mustaine and James Hetfield, because I mean, obviously, I'm of an era where that I was young back when that sort of era of metal was coming along. And, I love thrash metal. And that's one of the things that really hooked me on ThrasherWolf. When I first heard the Vortex, I thought, oh, yeah, this would have been colossal in the 80s. Absolutely colossal.
Well, let's not wait anymore. Let's just play the damn video. All right, you guys ready?
Yes, boy.
Here we go. We're playing. This is ThrasherWolf with their video, The Vortex. We'll be right back, guys. There's nothing more else. There's nothing more. There's no more show. We're done, guys. We'll just end it on just that video right there.
Perfection. Really good.
Thanks, man.
That's like one of those moments you just take the mic and just drop it. I'm done. I don't even need to say anything. Just I'm done.
No, I really.
Great song.
Isn't it just and the speed? Is it the speed that the reason why you use it for the audition piece? Is it technically difficult to play other than the fact that it's so fast as well?
I'd say it was quite a mix of both. Technically, the riffs are, especially that first riff, is quite awkward to get the hands around. So you sort of, if someone can play that riff, we sort of know, they've got something and they'll be okay.
Well, there's so many different change ups in that song. I mean, yeah, there's parts in it that's really super fast, but there's different change ups in it, and you're doing it all of a sudden. You're going from one to the other, back to the first one again. So I mean, that in itself is hard to keep up with.
Exactly. I mean, that's also one of the parts I'd say. Well, we need what we have got now, a really fucking good drummer to get all that stuff done as well. It's I'm not gonna lie, when there are parts where we do need count-ins to make sure that we really do follow those tempo changes. But when it comes to the songwriting side of things, I think it makes everything a lot more interesting when we're listening to it. Structurally, it makes things more interesting when we're playing it. I couldn't imagine just doing, what was it, like 200 BPM for 4 minutes, that pretty much being it. So I do like to keep the structures quite varied.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really solid song. What I'm always curious with on this, and going off we sort of own experiences, when you come to performing it, how long did it take before you got to that point where you thought, "Well, I'm not nervous of making a mistake in this," or do you think a mistake's going to happen at some point, just hopefully we can cover it up?
Well, mistakes happen a lot more often than people think. It's not a mistake, it's how you carry on from it. That's always been what I say. So as long as you can blag it, you're pretty much all right.
Well, I always found that, because I used to perform bits myself acoustically as solo stuff, but I always used to do my own songs more than anything else, because that way if I made a mistake nobody knew mine, because no buggers ever listened to them. So but for you, where you've actually got a fan base, people have bought your CDs and are familiar with your music, it must be harder to hide things, I guess.
Or they just don't even give a shit.
I've personally never had anyone call me out on it. So.
Yeah, I can imagine sitting at one of these guys' shows, and it would make me feel like I'm thrown back to like watching old school Metallica back during the Ride the Lightning time era, or Kill 'Em All. I would go say Kill 'Em All or Ride the Lightning. That's what it reminds me of, because that's what they did back then. They kind of paved that way, and it's nice that you hear hints of those elements in the music. Not saying you guys sound like them, but you can hear hints throughout the songs where it just throws you back to that time era. Like, fuck, this is. I really enjoy it.
That's exactly what we were going for. That sort of extremely old style thrash metal, that old school. Whereas I find a lot of bands nowadays are trying so hard, way too hard, to try and innovate or throw this, that, and the other into their music. What people really want, in my opinion, is that old school feel, that nothing but raw, intense, punch to the face thrash metal that got the genre sort of really known back then in the first place.
Well, if it wasn't for bands like
I think to add to that as well. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. To add to what Dan was saying as well, is we really enjoy what we do, and I think when we're on stage that does show. So if there's the occasional fuck up, it's more of a you can see we're passionate about what we do, as opposed to everything's got to be perfect.
And to be fair, these guys, I mean, really, just watching the show, I don't think anybody would even fucking care that there was a mistake made during the song, because by this point, there's probably about 30 or 40 people in the middle of the fucking open spot in the floor smashing each other's skulls in. So they're not even really technically listening to the music. All they're hearing is bells ringing.
You're right there, Sid. But I mean, I remember going to see Anthrax in the 80s, and I would see them make mistakes. The guys, sometimes, if you ever watched an Anthrax live show, they used to run around the stage, jump about, and sometimes they'd bump into each other and make little mistakes. They just turn around, laugh at each other, and carry on. And it was great to see. What I'm trying to establish. What I'm trying to establish off the band about talking about the mistakes in the track is how many I can get away with for when I audition.
Right.
Well, that's a different question.
Don't worry, I'd say 3 strikes.
3 strikes, bloody hell.
It's nice to see that younger bands like your guys' self are carrying the torch for that old school thrash metal sound. Because that was the pioneer for a lot of what you hear now is that old school thrash, and it's nice to see a younger band embracing that and making it your guys' own. So bravo to you, because like I said, that Vortex is absolutely just an amazing song. It really is. I know I do a countdown show. It's called the Countdown from Hell, and we did a poll last month, and I know Bob said something about you guys had your own pick of what did you guys wanted to be put on the countdown, but I didn't do it. I'm defiant, and I was like, and I'm doing the Vortex. I didn't tell nobody either. I was like, you know what? Fuck them. I'm just gonna put the Vortex up. I'm just gonna do it. Fuck them. I don't care. They just have to get mad. And then I was like, Bob, I kind of did something. And he goes, "What'd you do?" I said, I didn't put the song you in it. I wanted the Vortex. You would have to explain to these guys what I did.
The good thing is, though, that... Sorry, carry on, Jack, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, to be fair, the fact that it shows you have a favourite like that is amazing to me. So, crack on. If you're going to do that, I love that.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Well, it is. I mean, the thing is for me is, as I say, I've done a few reviews of albums, and you sit there, and I guess even for sort of old style big name bands, occasionally you have albums that you listen to, and you'll come across tracks that you don't perhaps like as much as other ones, and you think, okay, that's. I might call it a filler, but other people have different tastes and stuff like that. But I just remember listening to this album, sitting there thinking, I haven't heard a filler yet. I haven't heard a filler, and you get to the end of it and you think, that was a cracking album. And it goes round and round. And I drive long distances, as I was saying. I remember getting this album and playing it solid for a sort of week, just going round and round on journeys. And I'm talking I'll drive a couple hours there, a couple hours back. So I've done 4 hours, and the album doesn't come out of the player. It's solid. Was it your first recording?
Technically, it was our first proper recording. We have an EP that no one talks about.
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay. I tried to remove practically every trace of it from the internet, and I think I've done a pretty damn good job. Not only did our logo change in between that time to what it was before we got the new logo we have now. So that's the semi-old logo. I don't even know what you call it now.
The first album logo. Just call it that.
Yeah, the first album logo. We had an EP called Blood Moon, which consisted of 5 songs that were already from the album, but we'd recorded them before, just so that we had something to show people while we were sort of building things up. Obviously, the songs, as they made it onto the first album, it wasn't the fault of the songs. If anything, it was my personal fault for fucking up the guitar tone to the point where it was practically illegible, unlistenable. It was terrible.
Well, speaking of which, speaking of this this unknown demo, I got a video clip of you guys before one of these songs off here. If you guys want to, if everybody, I'm just kidding, I'm just joking.
I was scared now.
Jesus Christ. I thought I deleted that.
Yeah, on the subject of that, I still have the recordings if Dan ever pisses me off and anyone wants to pay me for them.
We'll leak them in about 20 years and see what happens.
So you started in around about 2017 area as a
I
band.
think so, but we don't like to technically say we started until about mid-2019, because that's when we had our first official proper lineup. I mean, we did have a lineup before then. We did 3 sort of very small gigs, but I don't like to think the proper ThrasherWolf started until about mid-2019. What do you reckon, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, the first gigs we did was literally just like an open mic night in a pub a few times before we actually started looking for gigs that were more thrash metal based, where we were supporting bigger thrash bands, and we joined Metal to the Masses and stuff before COVID hit. We started gaining traction that way. And then, as I said, COVID.
Yeah.
Fucking COVID.
Raymond's, when did you come into the band? What year was it when you came into the band?
It was just like, I think 3 months ago only, so it's just absolute newbie. I think it's three months, right, guys?
Yeah, 3 months.
Little baby.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Now, where are you, Raymond's? Where are you originally from? You have a different accent than all of us.
Yeah. I'm originally from Latvia.
Oh,
If you know where is it? Yeah.
I don't know where the hell that's at.
Yeah, but I'm around in London for 10 years or something like that. Yeah.
You just got a unique accent, almost like I was trying to put it like someone like Russian or something like that.
No.
That's
it was a hard one for me to figure out. Don't fucking laugh at me, Dan. You gotta
that's all right. Well, Latvia has neighbors with Russia, but yeah, it's not, the language is Baltic. It's not Slavic. But if the accent is similar to you, it is.
No, I don't know. I'm American. I'm pretty dumb.
There's a joke. I was going to say there's a joke about you being American in there somewhere. Fuck you.
We're not good
on Raven. Make as many jokes as you want.
We're really good about eating fast food, and that's about it.
I'll tell you what, we do another format, guys. We obviously we do an Into the Fire tonight, but we also do another format where we bring people or bands on and do a bit of a quiz just to get a different side of the band. I'll remember to sort of do a geography one now. There are no Sids to go to it, especially if he's doing a forfeit episode.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not good at my geography. I'm not good. I don't know where. Fuck. I mean, how are you going to guess somewhere where they're from? I didn't realize his accent was Slavic.
In fairness, you're not good at my quiz.
Well, that's true too. I can't deny that either. I mean, I think I may have won maybe 4 times. 1 little pig, 2 little pig.
That's not bad out of 6 months, is it?
If you want help, me and Dan are from the same city.
But to be fair, there's been shows that he's done. He's talking about guys that he would bring like the whole band on. There'd be like sometimes the whole band, or there'd be like 2 different bands on and going against. It's like either 2 different bands or the whole band against me. It's not fair.
That doesn't seem fair.
I do mark them all individually, so we have a winner and a loser. It's just that generally Sid loses.
Yeah,
to be fair, Bob, you got to keep it interesting, mate.
Well, that's it. He does tend to win the ones when we have sort of like questions about testicles and stuff like that. He's in there, you know.
Well, so I know a lot about cocks and balls. Big deal. I've been in jail a few times. Sue me.
I have that same information.
Yeah.
You try to wake up in the morning, Bob, laying down on a fucking bunk, and some black guy standing right there with his drawers down to his knees taking a shit. And you'll start getting used to seeing you get used to seeing cock and balls. Being in jail enough.
I'm still by the river. It's probably nicer in there than it is.
I am on a raw one tonight. I apologize, guys. I have no filter tonight.
We love it, man. We love it.
All the better, mate.
What about
Not yet. But I'm sure I'll get there before the show's over with.
He never has a filter, believe me.
Neither do I.
That's how it should be, man. That's how it should be. No filter.
Totally. So you guys are currently working on album number 2?
This is correct.
Yeah. So when do you hope for that to be coming out or ready?
We have absolutely no idea.
Is everything in for it?
The sort of recording process at the moment is it's a bit segmented, but we're slowly getting there. I'm actually in the studio tomorrow to record the vocals for all 10 tracks.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, come Monday, I'll probably have lost my voice and they'll be desperately trying to claw it back.
Do you have any little rituals like you do, like prepping your throat or anything like that before you go on a long stretch of recording vocals?
Usually before I do a long stretch of vocals, I do vocal warm-ups. If anything, it's more a breathing technique. So you hold your breath in for about 5 minutes, which opens your throat up. You breathe out. I then try and do the thing a few more. Then I sing a softer song. Like, I don't know, I take a Scorpions track or something, and I start belting that out just to get the technique right, get everything flying from everywhere it needs to be, and then I'll do the breath thing again, and then just go for it.
Do you guys hang out in the same room, pumping each other up, high-fiving each other, chest bumping before the show, getting you guys all hyped up? Or are you guys just kind of standing in front of each other, slapping each other in the face? Let's go, let's do this, pop!
I don't know, first I punched Jack in the face, then he chucked me off the stage, and then and Zach picked Raymond up and then chucked him off the stage too. And then...
I mean, because I'm sure just like anybody, there's a certain moment right before a show that you're nervous, your nerves are getting the best of you. I don't care who the fuck you are. There's always going to be that moment, whether it's for 30 seconds or 1 minute, where your nerves are built up. And you guys do anything to kind of before a show to kind of distract you from those nerves and hype you guys amongst yourselves up?
When we were on tour, it sort of knocked the nerves out of us. That was it.
Repetition?
I mean, before, I'd say there were times we were obviously shitting ourselves before a gig. I'd say if anything, we sort of interacted with people to take our minds off of the actual gig that was coming up. We interacted with people who could possibly be fans. We spread our name, started showing off our merch, and that sort of really took our minds off the upcoming gig. But of course, before it was time to come to go on, we were obviously feeling it. But when you're actually up there and you're facing the crowd, you realise there's nothing to be scared of, because 1, it's thrash metal. You've got to have balls of steel. 2, there's nothing to actually be scared of, because you love what you do. And if you love what you do, then it just fuck it. It's what I call the thrashertude that stops us from really sort of bricking it before a gig. It's that do what you want to do, say what you want to say attitude that I'd say thrash metal was pretty much built upon.
Good point. You think we should see some more of it then, Sid?
I think we should. I think we should see some good old-fashioned violence. I'm a rowdy.
Perfect.
Favorite song.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in, watching us. We're in the fire, hanging out with the band ThrasherWolf, and we're getting ready to play one of their videos right now. This is Good Old Fashioned Violence by ThrasherWolf. We'll be right back, guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
Good old fashioned violence, Bob. I want to beat somebody over the head with a baseball bat now.
Well, I know. I nearly said nip out the back and sort out one of those possums, but I thought you might get the wrong idea.
I think I might start taking it out. I might take it out on one of the possums this evening.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Fashion violence.
Yeah, another great track. I know that one of the things I remember from listening to the album, I'm trying to remember which track it actually happened on, but you've obviously got this sharp growling thrash tone in your Dan, but there's one of the tracks where you approach the song slightly differently. You've got a slightly softer vocal. Was it Vanity or Ruins? One of those
Ruins, probably.
Ruins. Yeah, starts off like quite a different vocal style, which was, again, it's funny you were talking about James Hetfield, but it reminded me of the sort of change when everybody got used to listening to what they were like on Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets to when he sort of got very melodic in some of the later Black Album songs and things like that. So is that a style that you plan to explore more, or is it sticking with the harsh thrash coming forward?
I definitely think that it's a style we're definitely exploring a lot more. The main thing we had about recording We Are Revolution, especially when it comes to the songwriting, was the keyword was variety. That was always what we had in mind. To me, it was always about having the different types of thrash enough in there that at least everyone can find one song on that album that they're going to like. So for Vortex, it had that sort of more, I'd say the riffs were a bit more a modern thrash approach. You had Vermilion Steel, which really had that sort of old style, and the Pack, which sort of had that sort of old style Slayer feel to it. You had the slower, heavier tracks, which are like heavily inspired by like the likes of like Overkill from the I Hear Black album, things like that. Ruins, of course, being our what I call our cheap Metallica ripoff. I like to call it our thrash ballad, and I don't feel like enough bands are doing enough thrash ballads nowadays. I feel like thrash ballads are great. They really give the audience a chance to sing along, to get engaged. It gives them something different to hold on to, something different to listen to, something for them to get really engaged with. So we actually have promised ourselves that we're at least going to have at least one ballad on every album, and I've pretty much got all of them written now anyway. So
No, it was really good because, as you say, it takes the speed out of it and gives a bit of a different taste for part of the song just as it comes through, and it was a good track, you know. So
thanks, man. It's definitely one of our favourites to perform live.
Yeah, good day. Excellent. I should also mention as well, because I noticed just within the last day or two that you guys have obviously supported Thrashing the Roof Off over a number of years, the charity thrash metal CD, and you're contributing it to again. Have you enjoyed doing that sort of side of it? Is it going to be new tracks that you put under that are going to be on the album, or is it going to be sort of something totally separate that you're doing?
Well, last year we semi-released, I'd say, 1,000 Eyes, which was the newer track on the Washing the Roof on Volume 2. This year, because there are, obviously because the lineup changes and there were certain circumstances, scenarios we couldn't see coming, we've had to do I'd say it's a reamping, remixing, and remastering of one of our older tracks, which we feel didn't really get as much attention as we would have liked it to get. So we've given it a sort of like an up-to-date, I'd say, tone and rego, and we're putting it on Washing the Roof on 3 to put out there. Less for our gain, more for the charities that it's actually trying to build money for.
Yeah, it's nice to see. Were you getting some extra visitors there, Jack? Were you? We
Mate,
get some people going past you there. I was thinking, oh, we've got some fans come to see him.
No, mate, I'm in the town centre, so people are walking past constantly. So I'm just kind of standing here by the river, freezing my nuts off.
And you all staring at you thinking, what the hell's he doing there?
Yeah, what's this fucking weirdo doing, staring at his phone? Yeah,
I'm sure that people's caught him doing a lot worse than this.
yeah. Where I live, mate, in Kingston, people probably do a lot worse than what I'm doing right now. So,
So let's start with you, Jack, real quick. Who were some of your influences? Who influenced you growing up?
oh, for me, it's weird because growing up, like when I was younger, I didn't really listen to music much. Got into it when I was kind of like early teenage years, like not even so much thrash, more like metalcore and things like that. And then my dad always played guitar, so he was the one that inspired me to kind of pick it up and learn. And then like as going through life and then trying to find bands and stuff, I met Dan, and Dan, funnily enough, was a person that really got me into a lot of the thrash I like now. So I have like a fucking multitude of like influences, to be honest. It's a bit of a weird one for me.
What about you, Ravens?
Well, yeah. So I grew up as well listening to rock, and it could be a lot of different things. But I always kind of loved metal, and just recently, like 3 years ago or something, I just finally, as I call it, step out of closet and just really embrace that and just get into it more, just in full blast. So, and yeah, and for me, like a trash more influence, I start listening more to Metallica, and then when I hear Municipal Waste, that just blew my mind off. Like because I was like knowing the old stuff, and didn't know much about what's new wave and what's right now happening. When I hear them, that was like, wow, that was inspiring. So yeah,
How long you been playing the bass for?
could be around 20 years, something like that. Yeah, since I was 15, so I'm about 40 right now. So yeah.
So who was your kind of like idol as far as bass players? Who's your idol bass player?
Well, when Dan asked in a sense of metal, I think Steve Harris is a dude. I like the Trujillo as well. His attitude in Metallica, and Suicidal Tendencies as well.
And
But
Infectious Groove as well too. He had a side project with Mike
yeah,
Murphy.
Infectious Grooves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a killer bassist to look upon. In terms of like his attitude, that you see him playing, he's into it, and that's kind of inspiring, and I want to chase as well. That you're playing that and you're 100% into that. So kind of that's something great, and obviously like Les Claypool and Flea. That was like when I started. That was the influence as
I'm
well.
glad someone's that I've asked that's actually said Flea, because I think he is actually a really good bass player. He doesn't get enough credit. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does, but he's really a really talented guy on that bass.
Yeah, very influential as well. Yeah.
What about you, Dan?
My influences have been. It's almost like it got heavier as life went on. I think Jack's phone has just died.
Yeah.
Down the river.
He's gone and should always be remembered. Yeah, my influences got steadily heavier as I got older. I didn't really listen to music until I was about 16. And I got this, like, my first ever phone was like this Nokia like 530 thing. I don't know what the hell you call it. The sort of Nokia where if you dropped it, the earth would crack in half. One of those fucking bulky motherfuckers. And I put the headphones in. I was just like, because it was my dad's old phone. I was just listening to what my dad had on, and it was like this and the other. And a band called Thunder came on. Don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Thunder.
Nope.
They are
I've heard of Thunder. Sid, have you come across Thunder?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
They are hard rock at their absolute freaking best. London boys. it's weird. They have like hard rock mixed with blues style thing, and they were the sort of first band I really got into. They've just released a new album, I think. Like they've never done a bad song. Seriously, they're just amazing. Seriously. But as life went on, I was finding the heavier acts. Enter Sandman came on that exact same phone, pretty much after that Thunder song, and I remember thinking, "Fuck me, this is heavy." Obviously, not realizing what heavy actually was at the time, being only 16, and I was blown away. And since then, it was Slayer. Got into Slayer real fucking quick. And weirdly enough, Steve Vai was another one I got extremely into.
Steve Vai.
He was just such an amazing guitar player. Like, there's no other guy I know who can make a 4-minute long song with like a cast on his arm doing like one hand shit. And like literally record it live, just like push it out there. I'd say biggest modern influences have to be Creator. I adore Creator. They're my favorite band in the freaking world. I was third row in when I saw them at Bloodstock, and my God, I got crushed in that pit. I literally got kicked in the back of the fucking neck by this absolute 18-stone dude that was being like crowd surfed. The dude who was with me failed to spot him. Like, how you could miss him, I have no idea. But failed to spot him as he was being carried over. I get kicked in the back of the neck. I get the tingling sensation on my spine, and suddenly I've got his arse cheek in my face as he's being like carried over. And I'm trying to push this 18-stone dude away from me. I'm like, It was freaking mad. It was just moments like that make me so proud to be a metalhead and so into Creator, because it's only in the Creator pit that things like that are going to happen. Yes, definitely Creator, Onslaught, Lazarus AD, which I don't think get enough love at all. They're absolutely stupendous. I just saw June Nieto, Creator, Enemy of God. Enemy of God, such a fucking good album, dude. Seriously, it's my favorite album of all time.
Nice. So I take it that after you've built their praises up so well there, that if ThrasherWolf got the opportunity to appear on any stage with a band of their choice, would Creator be your number one?
I think if we got put up to play with Creator, my heart would stop, first of all. I'd probably be fangirling over Millie pretty much every second of the entire time. I just sort of like staring through the door of his fucking over his dressing room, like, hey, Millie, hi, Millie. Just, I don't know how long we'd last in that bill, to be honest.
What about you, Raymond? If you could appear on stage with any other band, which band would you go for?
Wow, that's the good one. To warm up or play with in a
yes,
band?
to sort of like share. Say you were supporting them or they were supporting you. Who are you going? Which band are you going to pick?
Oh, I don't know, a bit unusual, but Rage Against Machine, that will be huge. But there is plenty, yeah, but that will be sick.
That would be a nice little show to see, some Rage Against Machine.
I know, it's a rarity, yeah, to get them back. So who knows?
Guys, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate you guys taking the time out, shooting the shit, talking band-related stuff, what you guys got going on. I appreciate you guys really spending the time, having a few laughs with us.
No problems.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Seriously, I can't wait to do this again. If you'll have us on.
We certainly will. We'll get you back on our other format at some point and have a bit of a laugh over the quiz. But can I just say before we finish the show as well, guys, stick with us. We lose a lot of people after the show finishes. They've vanished. Well, hold on, we'll have a bit chat backstage because there's something I want to have a chat to you about. So yeah, stick with us. But thanks very much for joining us tonight. It's been great.
So in other words, do not leave, and do not leave. Just stay backstage. And Bob wants to have a one-on-one session with you guys.
Okay, I'll be right over.
No, but for real though, you hang out backstage till the show's over. We want to have a chat with you.
Nice.
But you guys, everybody who's tuned in tonight, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks.
Fire. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out and meeting the band. Raymond's, Dan, and Jack had to go because his phone wasn't charged. He's been out having some fun, which he should have. That phone should have been dead long ago. I would have never.
I'm not sure whether the phone died or he got molested by one of those swans.
Those fucking swans. That's right.
I'm voting swan.
That's the story we're going with.
He's spitting out feathers as we speak. Guys, thank you once again. Be sure, everybody out there that's watching now or later, go find ThrasherWolf here on Facebook. Just go up to the little search bar up there and punch in ThrasherWolf. Take you right to their page. Like, share, follow, all that fun stuff. Find them on YouTube. Well, check out their videos. They got these 3 videos, plus they have live footage as well that you guys can watch these guys play live. So yeah, go out there and show this band some support. Really good band. Like I said, it's nice to see younger bands taking on that role of the original thrash metal sound, and I really appreciate it. It's nice to see and hear.
Thank you.
And we're going to end tonight's show with their last video that I've got here. This is Vermilion Steel, and we'll catch you guys. I will catch you guys tomorrow for the countdown. Everybody come over to interdemonmedia.com. That'll be at 4 o'clock Eastern. 9 o'clock for you guys over there where Barbarino lives. Barbarino.
Barbarino. Wait, it's better than Martin Thundercock.
Do you even know where Barbarino is? Vinny Barbarino come from? There's an old 80s sitcom show where that was one of the very first John Travolta roles he ever had in getting into TV or movies was a show called Welcome Back, Carter. And he was a high school student and had a leather jacket. His name was Vinny Barbarino. So now you're Barbarino now. All right, guys. I'm out of here. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks again to ThrasherWolf. Go give them a follow. And we are in it right now with Vermilion Still. You guys have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.